What a surprise. The media narrative around a mass shooting in the United States is not all as it seems. This week, 5 people were killed by an insane, evil gunman in Colorado. The club that he decided to open fire in, killing a couple of the bartenders and many of the patrons, was a gay nightclub. One where patrons were brave enough to stop him mid-act.
According to what he told the New York Times, he says that he charged towards the gunman, tackled him to the ground, and then beat him. I'm going to read you some quotes directly from Mr. Fierro saying, quote, "I don't know exactly what I did. I just went into combat mode. I just know I have to kill this guy before he kills us." Then they ask him, was he shooting at the time? Was he about to shoot? Fierro responds, "I don't know. I just knew I had to take him down."
And given the nature of the target, the media, well, quick to jump to conclusions, freaked out.
You have anti-LGBTQ rhetoric spewed on the most watched hours on Fox News at a regular clip against the U.S. military, against gay men and women, against gay teachers, against their right to exist.
This is likely, and since we've heard reports that the subject isn't cooperating with police, that means they likely found clear and convincing evidence on his devices. If he's a consumer of the people we just rattled off, from Lauren Boebert to Tucker Carlson, let's get it out. Let's get it out at trial. Let's expose it for what it is, name it and shame it. He's a consumer of these people, and those people should face civil consequences from the victims.
Similar things written in newspapers in Australia suggesting that there was a giant explosion in the sort of anti-rhetoric. Now, all of this, of course, does not explain why a crazy evil person does a crazy evil thing. And every person that was affected by this is absolutely a victim, no question. Don't run for the principle and not listen to me. But my point here is I want to talk about the rush to judgment, the rush to motivation. The assumption being because the victims were part of this community, then therefore some sort of giant right-wing hate machine was fueling what happened. Well, the reality is that this man should never have been allowed to go anywhere near anyone in the community. In fact, he should have been in jail. As Tucker Carlson reported, this bloke was accused of trying to kill his mother.
Last summer, he threatened to blow up his mother's house with a bomb. Authorities had to evacuate the neighborhood during the 4-hour standoff that ensued. Eventually, he surrendered.
You're seeing this video first on CNN that shows the alleged gunman, 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich, surrendering to law enforcement. This is just a year ago.
So after making that threat, after seeing him being arrested, why was he not in jail?
So after that happened, he, of course, was arrested and charged with first-degree kidnapping and felony menacing. But then the local district attorney, a man called Michael J. Allen, did not pursue charges. Why? We reached out to Allen's office today to find out why, but he did not get back to us, so we can only guess. We do know what the effect was. Because Aldrich was never charged with a crime and his arrest record was sealed, his violent past did not show up in background checks. Threatening to murder his own mother did not prevent him from buying a firearm, even under Colorado's so-called red flag law, which was designed to prevent that very thing.
But what about all of that gay hate? Well, the gunman has now appeared in court and their lawyer has said, please refer to them and they, not he and him. The gunman is identifying as being non-binary and CNN is confused.
Attorneys for the accused shooter, Anderson Lee Aldrich, say in new court filings tonight that the suspect now identifies as non-binary. In a footnote to a motion asserting legal privileges, the public defenders say, quote, Anderson Aldrich is non-binary. They use they, them pronouns, and for the purposes of all formal filings will be addressed as Mix Aldrich. So in other words, not Mr. or Ms. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's not anything that we had heard from his background. You know, people have been looking into his background, and I don't know if anybody here, are you guys lawyers? I mean, you know, I don't know if, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's what he's now saying.
Sometimes, just maybe sometimes, rather than going immediately for the hot take, let's just focus on the tragedy. Let's focus on the heroic actions of those that meant sure that not as many people died as could have died in this tragedy. This bloke is evil, this bloke is nuts, this bloke deserves everything that's coming his way. As for everything else, just wait.